In today's class, we are going to look at multiplication and division of surds. Let's take a look at this. We have square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 5. Now, this is going to give us square root of 30. 6 multiplied by 5 will give you 30. Therefore, square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 5 will give you square root of 30. So square root of 30 becomes our final answer. We cannot proceed further because 30 is not a perfect square. So we leave our answer here. Let's also look at this. Square root of 5 multiplied by square root of 5. Then here we're going to have square root of 25. So this cannot be our answer because 25 is a perfect square. So we have our final answer to be 5 because square root of 25 will give us 5. Let's also proceed and solve this. Square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2. So here we're going to get a perfect square, which is square root of 4. At the end of the day, we have a final answer to be 2. That is to say that whenever the digits under the root, whenever they are the same, you must have a perfect square. Just like here, we have 5 multiplied by 5. So the ones on the root here is 5, 5, and they are the same. At the end of the day, you are going to have a perfect square, which is 25. Then square root of 25 will give you 5. Same thing goes here. We have 2 here, and we have 2 here. So the final answer is going to be what? 2. Now, let's also take a look at this. We have square root of 8 multiplied by square root of 8. So the answer is going to be 8 at the end of the day. So that is the way to go about that. So let's take the one that's a little bit complicating. We have 3 root 2 multiplied by 4 root 5. So if you take a look at this, you will see that 3 root 2 is the same thing as 3 multiplied by root 2. So here, multiplied by 4 root 5 is the same thing as 4 multiplied by root 5. So what you are going to do is you multiply out those ones that are outside the bracket. So which is 3 multiplied by 4. So you are going to have 12. Then root, we are going to multiply the ones in the root, which is 2 and 5. We're going to have what? 10. So because this 10 here is not a perfect square, we leave our answer here. So the final answer is 12 root 10. Let's take a look at this also. We have 6 root 5, 6 root 5 multiplied by 3 root 11. So this is going to be 6 is going to multiply 3, which is going to give us 18. Then root 5 is going to multiply 11, which will give us 55. If you look at this now, the digit under the root sign is not a perfect square. So we leave our answer there. But if it happens to be a perfect square, we work on it and reduce it so that the one in the root will no longer be a perfect square. Okay, now let's take a look at this also. We have 2 root 6 multiplied by 5 root 3. So this is going to give us 2 multiplied by 5, the ones outside is going to give us 10. Then root 6 multiplied by 3, the ones under the root sign will give us 18. If you look at the digits under the root sign, you will see that 18 is a perfect square. So what do? We are going to reduce it until the digits under the root sign will become non-perfect square. Then it's going to be 10 root. We're going to look at two numbers that one of them is what? Is a perfect square. We have it as what? 9 multiplied by 2. So you see that 9 is a perfect square, but 2 is not a perfect square. So here we're going to have 10, square root of 9 is 3. So you're going to bring it out, multiply by 3. Then square root of what? 2. Then 10 multiplied by 3 will give us 30. It's going to be what? 30 root 2. We cannot proceed any further because we have got to the surd. 2 is not a perfect square, so we leave our answer there. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's look at 10 root 12 multiplied by 4 root 3. How do we go about this? The same thing, you multiply the ones outside the root, which is 10 multiplied by 4 will give us 40. Then multiply the ones inside the root, 12 multiplied by 3. 12 multiplied by 3, we have 12 multiplied by 3. So here we have it as 40 square root of 12 is a perfect square. 12 is a perfect square. So what we're going to do is we are going to get two numbers that one of them is a perfect square. So we have 4 and 3. So we have 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. So here we're now going to have 40 multiplied by square root of 4 will give us 2. We bring 2 out. We have square root of 9. 3 times 3 is what? It's 9. Now we have 40 multiplied by 2. Then square root of 9 is what? Is 3. Multiply by 3. Which is going to give us 40 multiplied by 6 will give us 240. This becomes our answer. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's look at square root of 24 divided by square root of 8. So this is the same thing as 24 divided by 8. And when you divide 24 by 8, you are going to have square root of 3. So this becomes your final answer. What if we take a look at this? 10 divided by 15. Square root of 30 divided by square root of 5. Let's make here 35. So how do we solve this? The first thing is to begin to divide, reduce. Which number goes in 10 and also goes in 15? 5 we go. So 5 going into 10, we are going to have 2. Then divided by 5 going into 15, we are going to have 3. Then square root of root 35 divided by root 5 is going to give us root 7. So this becomes your answer, or you can have this as 2 root 7 divided by 3. Let's go ahead and take another example. If we have 12 root 80 divided by 4 root 2, what will be your answer? Here, we are going to divide. 4 divide itself will give you 1. 4 divide 12 is going to give you 3. So we have 3. Root 80 divided by root 2 is going to give us root 40. So we can't leave our answer here because 40 is a perfect square. We have to split it. So this is the same thing as 3 root 4 multiplied by 10, because 4 times 10 is going to give us 40. So you see here now that 4 is a perfect square. So we're going to take a square root of 4. Square root of 4 is going to give us 2. So this answer will become 3 multiplied by 2. Because when you take square root of 4, you're going to have 2. Then root 10. So you multiply this out. 3 times 2 will give you what? 6 root 10. This becomes your final answer because 10 is no longer a perfect square. Okay, let's take a look at another example. If we have 30 root 45 divided by 3 root 5, what will be the answer? Here, 3 divide itself will give you 1. 3 divides 30 is going to give you what? 10. So we have 10 here. Square root of 45, square root of 45 divided by square root of 5 is going to give us what? 9. Here, 9 is a perfect square. So you have to split it. So it's going to be what? 10 multiplied by 3. Because square root of 9 is 3. So at the end of the day, we are going to have 30 as our answer. 10 multiplied by 3 is 30. Okay, let's look at this. Simplify. Simplify 60 multiplied by square root of 60 multiplied by square root of 180 divided by square root of 75. So this is the same thing as multiplying root 60 by root 180. When you do that, we are going to have root 1000, that's 10,800, then divided by root 75. So this is the same thing as root 10,800 divided by 75. When you divide 10,800 by 75, you are going to have 144. So we have square root of 144. And 144 is a perfect square. Square root of 144 will give us 12. 12 is our final answer. So I'm going to give you an exercise to do. Please make sure you do it and drop it on the comment section. Here, evaluate root 24 divided by root 50. So put the answer on the comment section and make sure you share this video if you find it useful with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and see you in the next class.